came off of a tough loss, and you know, everybody's got to regroup and get ready to go for another week. Unfortunately, we had some big play issues again, which I know has been a common theme here for a few weeks. Working hard to correct it, but anyway, we're back to the drawing board and getting ready to go on to the next week. So, questions I can answer?
How difficult is it when you face an offense like Maryland that jet sweep, the motions all over the place? How much does that change what you guys maybe do pre-snap?
It changes some things. There's the jet sweep part of it, like you mentioned, but there's a ton of trade and motion and shift in their offense, more so than I've ever seen from any team I've ever prepared for, I think. So it's making sure that you get lined up right, that your feet are set, your eyes are on the right key, that you're ready to react to the things that you need to be able to react to when the ball gets snapped. The play, as funny as it seems to say this, the play in and of itself is not as hard to defend as it is all the stuff that they throw at you before the ball actually gets snapped. Because you're changing alignments, you're changing techniques, you're changing things that you're focused on in your vision and in your key sequence. It's all those things that kind of make it a little bit more difficult.
Obviously, there's a lot of film out there of Matt Canada offenses, but it's basically every year it's a different school personnel. How difficult is that when you have a lot of film on a coach and what he calls, but it's no consistency with who's running it as you're watching?
Well, it is, but yet, I mean, all you can really prepare for is what you've seen this season. And so we've got their games, obviously, like they have ours, and we're going back and looking at what he's done and how they've done it. And there's going to be some things probably that he presents in the game that we haven't prepared for, and that's where your fundamentals and the rules of your defense just have to carry you through it. So we'll get ready for what we've seen and what we know that maybe would tie into what he's done from previous places that he's coached, and we'll get ready for that. If there's something beyond that, we'll just have to adjust to it when it happens in the game.
I asked Chris something similar, but as you look forward to the second half of the season, what does this defense need to do better? Is it defending the run? Is it getting pressure on quarterback? What does the defense really have to hone in on and get better at?
Well, front and center right now is run defense, especially as it ties into giving up the big plays. I'm not sure what Chris talked with you guys about prior to me coming in here, but the frustrating thing is we've got a reoccurring theme, and it seems to be like for 2 or 3 weeks now we've said the same thing where you can take 85–90% of the snaps and put the film on, look at them, and feel comfortable with what you're doing defensively, and then you put the other 10% of those plays on there, and you'll have a run pop for 60, 70, 80 yards. And the problem is never the same from play to play, from game to game. It's a different guy, it's a different position, it's a different defensive call perhaps, or maybe a different technique. There's no one thing that just continues to jump out, or one person. But we just, in one word, we've got to become more consistent. And if we can play like we should for the course of 60 full minutes, then we're going to start seeing some of the results that we're after. But we just, the score is what it is. The points go on the board, whether it comes out of 5 plays or a dozen or 20 plays, and we're responsible and accountable for it. And it's our job to get that stopped. Anything else? All right.
Thanks, Jay.
Thank you.